Now, did y'all see flashing on the screen there, 3, 2, 1, go, or not? No, you didn't. Okay. Do you see in the lower left-hand corner of my screen a little circle with 2 vertical blue bars, and it's counting now 16, 17 seconds? Can you see that? Probably not. Okay. All right. Then what I will do now is pull up Blackboard. Okay. Well, can't pull it up yet. Let me reduce it again. Let's do a screen share and see if I can get Blackboard. I think that's it. Okay. Can you see Math 126, 10735, Calculus 2, the Blackboard screen for that? You can. Good. Okay. Now, always I have to do a little housekeeping here. This, I don't know if you see this toolbar that's almost, it's below the middle of the page, but it's right in the way. So I'm going to have to move it down and get it as far out of the way as possible. Okay. And then Jordan, of course, you're in the way. I'm going to scoot you over to the right a little bit because you probably can't see that either, but it's my picture and then your 3 names under that, indicating who's in class. Okay. Now, here's another brand new thing that I don't know if Montgomery said we had to do this. My guess is yes, but it could be that the college decided to do this. Okay. They are wanting us to have basically the same appearance of Blackboard for every class that we teach. So now there's this template we have to follow, and this is truly a pain in the neck, or some other body part we won't mention. Okay. And it seems like what makes it such a pain in the neck, there's so much duplication in it. It says here, start here. Okay, now I'm going to move Jordan again. He's in the way again. He just keeps getting in the way. No. Okay, basically, I'm moving all... Oh, I messed up there. Okay, maybe I better leave it well enough alone. Okay, you can't see what I'm talking about, but I was trying to make it. All right, now you see it says start here. Now, sometimes you can click on the anything that's underlined. So I'm going to try that first. That didn't work. So then I'm going to come over here to the 3 dots. Well, wait, to this arrow down. And let's click on that. Expand. Okay. Ha. And here it says, students, your first task is to familiarize yourself with the course. Start here to get to blah, 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 blah. Now, this is not an online course. So I'm probably going to take that part out. Now, I'm going to talk about the course syllabus agreement in just a minute. Everything they've done on this, because they copied what they do for the online courses, they copied that for here. And that doesn't work well. So I'll try to fix this later. Okay. Navigating the course and online learning tips. Now, again, this is not online, but I left some of this up here. Let me see what clicking on the underlined thing says here. That time it opened up. Sometimes it opens, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on what's over here. What kind of, this is a file. So here's course information, how to navigate the course, and it says with a video. I'm not sure there's a video there. That time I hit the underlined part. And this is online learning. And again, we're not strictly online. This is a virtual course. Okay. And they have all this stuff here, and supposedly, I guess these are videos that you can use. Okay, use them to your heart's content, but most of this is set up for online courses. We are sort of like online, but we're virtual. Okay, so I'll let you look at that to your heart's content. I'm not going to go over that because a lot of it doesn't apply to us, but if you got free time, look at it. Okay, you noticed I went over to an X here, though the X isn't showing here. That blue box here in the corner where the finger is, the index finger, by the way. Okay, That's right there. So let's go to the next one, Introduction to Blackboard Learn and Ultra Experience for Students. Okay, again, this is something that they put in here, and it's, I think, a video, and you can watch that to your heart's content. I'm not going to go over that, okay? That's for your benefit, okay? The next thing down here, Tips for Succeeding Online. Again, this is mostly for online students, okay? And 21 Tips for Succeeding Online, most of it's for online classes. I may go in and take some of this out. I had done it for this class, and then they gave me a brand new shell with all of it back in there again, so I didn't have time to undo it again. Okay, that's only for you, and again, mostly for that. Netiquette for Online Learning, I'm not even going to open that one, okay, because that is exactly it for online classes. So that most of this first box here is strictly for online classes. So you may get some benefit out of it. I'm not saying there's nothing good there, but I'm not going to go over it. Okay, here's where we begin. Course syllabus. And again, notice it's underlined, so I'm going to click on it. And here it comes. There's my syllabus. Now here they're talking about what to do with that course syllabus agreement. Don't worry about this too much. Just go to the syllabus, and that's what we're going to do today. And now you see it doesn't, when I put my cursor on it, it doesn't underline, so don't click on it. That won't do any good. Come over here to the three dots, click on that, and it says, I hope you can't edit or delete it. I hope the only option you have is download it. So I'm going to download it just to show you how to do it, and it takes a few minutes. And you see down here it's in the process of downloading, and when you see this comes up, that means it's downloaded. Now you can click on this and it should open. It may take it a little while, but it should open. There it's coming. This is done in Word. Word is slow and awkward, but that's what they have us work with. And by the way, excuse me, I should have said this earlier. Can you all hear me okay? I also teach a Sunday school class on Sunday, and we did a Zoom, and several people said they had trouble hearing me. Are y'all hearing me okay? You can, okay. My wife says I'm so loud she can hear me downstairs. She went to the office today, so I don't even have to close the door. You'll notice the door's open back there. Okay. She makes me close it when I'm teaching, but she's not here. Okay, so I'm going to maximize the screen here. Now here's something else that's brand new. The Alabama Community College System, ACCS, I talked about before, said we had to do all new syllabi this year. So here's pretty much their version of the syllabus. Doesn't look quite like it did before, but it's pretty close. Okay, this is Math 126, Calculus 2, a 4-semester hour course. Okay, here's the course description. This was redone last spring. I was not in on this one, somebody else was, but it's fairly close to the same thing. This is second of 3 courses in the basic calculus sequence. Topics include applications of integration. That's where we're going to start the course today. Well, we may. Techniques of integration. Okay, we'll talk about this a little bit more detail, but remember these terms: infinite series, polar coordinates, and parametric equations. Lines and planes in space, and vectors in the plane and in space. Now, if that sounds like a lot, it truly is. Okay, prerequisite, you have to have a grade of C or higher in Math 125, and I know at least 2 of you had that because I had you for 125, I think. Jordan, I assume you have it too. Okay, my screen sharing was paused. Can y'all see this anymore? Okay, let me see if I can bring it back. I have no idea why that changed. Were you seeing it up until then? Okay, there we're back again. I don't know this. I don't know if it's Zoom. I don't know if it's my internet. I don't know if it's Blackboard. I don't know what this deal is. So here's the textbook. All you really need to know is this. And if you have it already, it's Calculus Early Transcendental Functions. The authors are Ron Larson and Bruce Edwards. Okay, I can't hold this very long. It's a big book. Okay, that's basically what you need to do. 7th edition, I forgot to show you that. That's 7th edition right there. The 7E, 7th edition right there. It's a 2019 book, which means it probably has a life of another few years, but don't sweat that, because it'll be the same book we use for 227 Cal 3 if you are going to take that here. We will not change books. Even if they come out for the new edition, only the 125 students will go to the new edition. The people who have already in the sequence will stay with the edition they started. Now, here's probably going to be some good news for you guys. It's sort of good news for me too. Let me ask the question first this way. Is this the last term for any of you to be here at Lawson? Or are y'all going to be here in the spring as well? Okay. Okay. So, guess what, folks? It's my last term. Okay. I am 69 years old. I'll turn 70 in January, so I'll be retiring the first day of February. Okay. So, you'll have to suffer through this one, but then 227, I assume they will offer it in the spring. I'm going to put it on the schedule if I have any say-so in it, and but it'll be some other instructor. You won't have me. Okay. I can hear the cheers in the background now, but mute your phones. Okay. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Just kidding. Okay. I see 2 of you were muted, so you are the ones doing the cheering, right? Okay. Now, the rest of this on textbook is strictly an advertisement for Cengage, and I resent it, but they told us we had to have it in the old syllabus, so I assume we had to have it now. What I've shown you and told you, that's all you need to know. Let me see. Oh, this too. Graphing calculator would be a good thing to have. It's not absolutely necessary. Graph paper, usually a pretty good thing to have. It's not exactly necessary. And pencils. Now, the only reason someone else wrote this syllabus, and if you prefer using pen, that's fine with me, but I'll make a confession here. When I do, and those who've been in my class will amen this, when I do calculus, I tend to make mistakes. Okay, I heard the amens. Okay, I make a lot of them, so I usually use pencil when I'm working math problems, any kind of math problem. So, but if you prefer ink, I don't care. I really don't care. And then all the rest of this is the Cengage advertisement. So I'm just going to scroll through this. I hope you all know about it already. If you're buying a book, Cengage Unlimited, you can buy sort of buy the book for $119. And guess what? That's for every Cengage book you'll use this term. Okay? Every one. They have different rates if you're going 2 terms or 3 terms. Okay? Or I think maybe even 2 years. I don't know. But the thing is, I'm guessing you already have your book, so I'm not going to go into that. But if you haven't bought a book and want to, $119 will provide every book you have. Now, the deal is that is an ebook. It's not a physical, big old heavy book like this. Now, for an additional something like $10 or something like that, you can also get a loose leaf version of the book. Okay, so it's really cheap too, but that's a separate cost. But that $119 gets you every course that uses a Cengage book. You can get that book, ebook, for that. Now, by the way, late last week I got an email from Cengage giving me the, what do they call them, class keys or class codes or something like that. I didn't have time to find that email last night when I was working on getting this ready. I'll try to get that out there. Probably not today. It'll probably be tomorrow. No, probably not tomorrow. It'll probably be Wednesday or later before I get that out. I'll put it somewhere. I'll show you where I'll try to put it. Okay. So, like I was saying, the rest of this is advertisement for Cengage, which I resent. I don't think we should be doing this, but we do. You can read this and find out. It's $120, by the way. It says $119, but it's $119.99. Okay. So you can do this. They say pay $119. It's $119.99. Okay, and here are the other courses that do use Cengage books. If you're taking any of these courses, all the courses are covered by that same $119.99. Yeah, and if for a full year, it's $179.99, or for 2 years, $239.99. That gives you every Cengage book you need for one term, 1 year, or 2 years. For the year, I did not change this. This is what I copied from what they had me put on the 227 syllabus, and the last time I taught it was in the spring. So I don't know. Maybe you just snuck by. I don't know. But that was supposed to be per term. So if you manage to get by without it, you're lucky. Okay. Here we get back into the real part of the syllabus. Okay. Course objectives. Okay. And this was something they came up with last spring, and my goodness, do they go into gory detail here. Okay. Now, what I would like to do, since I've introduced the book to you, I don't know if any of you have your books handy, but if you do have your books handy, it says, this is referring back to that course description too. Remember, the first thing it said was applications of integration. Okay, in our book, the Calculus Early Transcendental Functions 7th edition by Larson and Edwards, the Cengage book, that's chapter 7. And we will do sections 1 through 6 of chapter 7. Okay? And section 1.1 is area of a region between two curves. Okay? Sections 2 and 3, I think, are volumes of solids of revolution. Section 7.4 is arc length. Okay. So, because they only stop there, what we may do, because they said that's all we have to cover, and this is from Montgomery, I may change things, and we'll just do 7.1 through 7.3. Let me make a note of that right now. Like I said, this is all brand new, so I'm going to change that right now, and we're just going to do 7.1 through 7.3. The others are pretty easy and simple if you need them. Oops, I'm sorry, 7.1 to 7.4. Arc length of 7.4. 7.1 to 7.4. Okay, and we will skip 7.5, which is work, which is pretty simple stuff. 7.6 is moment, centers of mass, and centroids. To me, that's pretty important, but they did not say that you had to do that. Okay, so we will stop after those 3 applications. It's 4 sections, 3 applications. Okay, now the next thing, techniques of integration. Okay, that's chapter 8 in our book, and 8.1 is basic integration rules, which I think we'll just do a quick review. 8.2 is integration by parts. 8.3 is trigonometric integrals. 8.4 is trigonometric substitution. 8.5 is partial fractions, and then 8.6 is numerical integration. Now, what I had planned to do was 8.72, but I think we'll skip that one. I'll tell you about it because to me it's the most useful one. It's using a table, okay? And you can do that. It's in your text. You'll be able to do it. And by the way, and I'll talk about this later, you'll also find it out there on YouTube videos, okay? So we'll do that. All right, so that's chapter 7. Now, then they say indeterminate forms and L'Hopital's rules. If I'm not mistaken, that was covered in Cal 1. Didn't y'all do that? Oh, well, let me see. that is all integration stuff pretty much. I think they got this in the wrong place, okay? Don't sweat that, okay? And then they mention improper integrals. And improper integrals, okay, here we go. I'm sorry. Back in chapter 5, 5.6 was indeterminate forms and L'Hopital's rule, and sorry about this, folks. Like I said, this is new stuff. Improper integrals is 8.8. Okay. All right. So we will do 8.1 through 6 and then skip to 8.8. Okay. Now, let me do a timeout here. I was going to wait till later to ask this question, but since it's come up now, let me ask it. Okay. Jordan, you were in, was it Miss Martin's class or Miss Martin? Okay. Andy and Brandon, you both had me for Cal 1, or did y'all have somebody else? Say again? Oh, Brandon, you had Miss Martin? Yeah, Trig. Okay, and Andy? Yeah. Okay, all right. Now, here's the question. Did either in Miss Martin's class or in my class, since two of you in Miss Martin's, did we get as far as indeterminate forms and L'Hopital's rule in Cal 1? Do y'all remember? It's 5.6. Because I've taught so many classes since then, I don't remember. Do you? No, it's chapter 5. Oh, you stopped at chapter 4. Ah, okay. I'm glad to hear that. Did you finish pretty much chapter 4? Okay. I was going to ask this later, but now that answers my question. Okay. What we'll do, we'll be starting this time. And so some of the rest of the stuff that's out here on this, you'll just ignore, which you probably would have anyway. Well, I didn't say that. Okay. We'll start in chapter 5. Antiderivatives and indefinite integration. And we will do 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we'll stop at 7. You have inverse trigonometric functions. What I would suggest with those, integrating those, go to a table. Okay, we'll not worry with those. We'll do 5.1 through 5.7. That's where we'll begin this time. So the rest of the stuff you see here, or some of the stuff, I'll point out to you and I'll say no, because I don't want to have that big gap. Chapter 6 is differential equations. That's another course. I don't ever cover that until you get to differential equations. So that's helpful. So that we will go back and we'll do that indeterminate forms and L'Hopital's rules. Okay. And then we'll do improper integrals as 8.8. Okay. Then that got us through 0.4. 5, sequences. That is 9.1. Okay. And then convergence and divergence of infinite series. Okay. That's basically 9.2. And then they mention here the integral test and the p-test. That's 9.3. So we'll do 9, 1, 2, and 3. Comparison of series is 9.4. Alternating series is 9.5. And then the ratio and root test is 9.6. So we will try to do those 6 sections. Okay. This is one big row to hoe. Okay. I'm not sure we're going to get, oh wait, I'm sorry, there's 9.8 is power series, and 9.9 are Taylor and Maclaurin series. Okay. All right, and that's 9.10. So 9.1 through 9.6, 9.8, and 9.10. Wow. I guarantee you we're not going to do a huge job on all this stuff, okay? We'll get done the basics and that's it. All right, let's scroll on down a little bit so you can see. And we're moving into parametric equations, okay? That is part of chapter 10. Now, parametric equations doesn't show up until 10.3, so we'll definitely do that. Polar coordinates are 10.4, okay? So 10.3 and 10.4. Lines and planes in space. Well, wait. 10.2 is also parametric equation. Plane curves and parametric equations. So 10.2, 10.3, 10.4. Okay, lines and planes in space. That gets into chapter 11. Okay, I think so. Let me make sure. Okay. No, okay, hold on. 10.5 is area and arc length. I'm showing you. Where's my cursor? Cursor, come here. There you are. Area and arc length is 10.5. Lines and planes in space. I skipped that one. Lines and planes in space. That to me is getting into chapter 11. Yeah, 11.5 is lines and planes in space. So in chapter 10, we'll do 10.2 through 10.5. Okay? 10.2 to 10.5. Or at least we'll try to get all this done. Okay? All right. Then, number 13 here, operations with vectors. That's 11.1. Vectors in plane and space, that's 11.1 and 11.2. Okay, let's get on down to the next page. And that's where they stop. That's a shame. Well, actually they don't. 11.3 is dot product of two vectors, 11.4 is cross products of two vectors, and 11.5 is lines and planes in space. So those operations with vectors, that covers those. So we'll do that. Do not sweat. We will not cover any of the optional topics. Remember back in chapter 9 I said, no, I'm sorry. In chapter 7 I said moment, center of mass, and centroids. They left that off. Conics, that was 10.1. We left that off. Binomial series, I don't even know where that was. But we're not going to be able to do that, I'm sure. And application of integration, work in fluid pressure, that was the one that was 7.5 and 7.7. So we're leaving those off. Whew. Okay. Now, can we get all this done in one term? Not at the rate I'm going, because I'm talking too much. The odds are not, but we'll get you as far as we can, especially since we're having to go back and pick up chapter 5. And then when you start next term, whoever's going to be teaching you Cal 3, make sure you pick up where we end off. Okay? All right. That was discouraging. No, I'm sorry. Okay. Now, I'll let you read the rest of this. Of course, you know the A's are 90s through 100, B's, yeah. They don't say how. Let me give you a little bit more fill in here. They said this is all we do. Let me also say this. In this course, and Andy and Brandon, you'll remember this fondly, I'm sure. Every course I teach, I require a research paper. And we're going to talk about that later today if I don't run out of time. Okay? So, there is a research paper done that is due. That also counts as a test. Okay? We'll have a chapter 5 test. We'll have a chapter 7 test. We'll have a chapter 8 test. Well, if we finish far enough in chapter 9, we'll have a chapter 9 test in those sections we're going to cover. And then if we get far enough in chapter 10, we'll have a chapter 10 test. And if we get those first 5 sections in chapter 11 covered, we'll have a chapter 11 test. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pretty big chunks of chapters we're going to have to move and move fast, okay? So I'm not going to say we're going to get all those covered, but if we do, we'll get as much as we can, okay? So your research paper cannot be dropped. The chapter test up to the last one, whatever the last chapter test we cover, that will be your final exam. It will not be a comprehensive final unless we get every one of these chapters done fully and you get tested on all of them, and then we have a week to spare. I'll say, okay, I'll give you a comprehensive exam. That's not going to happen. I can almost guarantee it, okay? So what will happen is that the last chapter that we're working on before the final, that will be your last chapter test. The research paper cannot be dropped, and that last chapter test, the one we work on at the end, that cannot be dropped. Of the ones in the middle, 5, 7, 8, 9, wherever the middle is there, the lowest score there can be dropped. And then I just average all of them together, and that gives you your average for the course. Okay? And that's where the 90s, 80s, 70s, don't go down to 60s and 50s and below. We don't want to go there. Okay. Now, attendance. This first part was the part done by, and you see their indentation is different, the part done by Montgomery, and that's what they say here. And the next parts are the things that they had us put in for virtual classes. Okay, so they had us put all that in. I'll let you read that to your heart's content. But try to be here every day. If you can't be here, I do record all the classes so they are available to you. But you can't ask a recording a question. So try to be here so you can participate. The statement on discrimination and harassment, that's standard throughout the system. Let me just summarize it. We don't tolerate it. We don't want it to happen. But in a virtual environment, I really don't know how it could. But anyway, if you think there's any way it is happening, please let us know, because we do not want it happening here. Okay? Now, this Americans with Disabilities. The first part here was the part Montgomery said we had to put in. The second part is specific to here at Lawson State. So here's Dr. Renee Herndon. There's her phone number. There's Miss Janine McCoy Jones. There's her phone number. Doesn't matter what campuses they're on. We're not there anyway. But you can also go online and go through and look for student services, disability services, ADA link, meet and contact an ADA counselor. If you think you have qualify for this, please pay attention to it. Go to it. Take advantage of it. We want you to learn. Okay? Those who've been in my class, you know that's true. Okay. Now, academic integrity. I put this in because they had us put it in before. I kind of regret it now because Montgomery didn't say we had to, but I put it in. I'll summarize this. Have it. Have academic integrity. Plagiarism, cheating, don't do it. Okay? That's the summary. Okay? They go into all kinds of stuff. Professional decorum. Oh, man. Especially in a virtual environment, I can't see any one of you. I don't care if you got a hat on or if you're, I really do care if you're sleeping. If you're getting up and leaving the class, I can't tell, okay? If you're eating and drinking, I can't tell. So this is almost stupid, I'm sorry, to have in the syllabus. But they wanted us to have it there. I put it there. I wish I hadn't. Okay, course concerns. If you do have any problem, this is important. If you're having a problem with me, if you think I'm not giving you a fair shake, if I'm doing something that's awkward for you or uncomfortable for you, or you can't follow what I'm doing or why I'm doing it, please say something to me. Stop me, get me going, okay? If that doesn't work, talk to the department chair. Oh, that's me, okay? And I'll put myself on report, okay? All right. If not, if that doesn't work, let's take it on up to my boss, the associate dean. And if that doesn't help you, we'll go to the dean. And if that doesn't help, we'll go to the vice president. We'll keep going as far as it takes, but I think we can handle it at our level. So please, please let me know if I'm doing something that's distracting or deteriorating. And here the page is missing. Okay, what I'm going to do, I swear I thought I had it in here. The last page of the syllabus is the page that you'll need to print off. Well, you don't need to. The people who aren't here, who listen to this video, you'll need to print that off and send it to me either by email or by Blackboard message. Either way, I don't care, and let me know that you have understood the syllabus. Y'all need to do it too, but it's most important for people who are not here. That gets them counted as attendance the first week, because if you're not here the first week, you get removed from the class, period. Now, I hope you people who are listening heard that. If you do not attend or get me something, if I don't get that page in there, send me an email saying, I've read the syllabus, I understand it, or I have these questions about it. That'll do it for you. That will get you attendance for the first week. Okay? Please get that done. Any questions on that? The syllabus at all? Okay? Then let me go back and here again. Brandon, you're in the way, you know that? Okay. So let me minimize. How do I need to do this? I'm afraid if I X out, let's just see what happens. It takes us back. Okay. All right. We're back to this. Let me go back to screen share. Okay, this is really good. The screen share is all blacked out. I can't see it. Okay, let me try screen share again now. Let me see what happens here. Can y'all see the course syllabus now? I mean, when they talk about it. That's where we were. Click there. I'll try to get this corrected. And you probably can't see it, but this toolbar is in the way again, so I'm going to have to move it. Okay. Now, that last page of the syllabus that wasn't there, I'll put it there. And for people who weren't here in class today, please click on that, type your name in, type the date, whatever, and send it to me either as an email or as a Blackboard message. Okay. So, let's what we need to do is close out this. I was trying to find the X. There it is. Okay, so that was the syllabus. Okay, the syllabus agreement. Let's see, maybe I put it here. Okay, I don't see it here either. You can do this if you want to. That's mostly for online classes. Okay, just email me and tell you read the syllabus. I'll try to get that agreement page on it. Okay. All right, let's go to textbook and other required materials. That was in the syllabus. Here it is again. Okay. There's the title of the book, Calculus Early Transcendental Function. It's everything that was in the syllabus. All that advertisement for Cengage. All there. So I put it there because they wanted it there as well. Okay, so there it is. So there's two places you can find the textbooks. Sorry. The course weekly schedule. Let's go there. All right, and this just tells you what to do. To me, this is a worthless slide. This is mostly for online. Okay, this is not an online course. Yeah. So let's get out of that one. Required computing skills, that's mostly for online, but you can read it if you want to. Here's the ADA stuff again. Okay, just what you saw in the syllabus, here it is here too. Okay, and there it is. Well, it's not quite in the same words, but all the information's the same. Okay, they put it out there. Okay, now I think that pretty much winds up. Let's see, Andy, you're in the way again. Let me get you out of the way. Okay, let's go down here. All right, So I think we finished the start here. No, we finished the navigating. So let's close this out. And now we go to now there was course syllabus. Where are we now? Okay. Let's go on down. Here we go. Course weekly schedule. This is the part. I think I showed you that. Yeah. Okay. I thought I closed this stuff out. Let me go back again. Okay. Let's close this and close this. Okay. Now, yeah, here we go. All right. Yeah, we did the start here part. Let's go now to instructor, contact, and office hours. Obviously, I haven't done that one yet. Oh, wait, here it is. See, they have things in here so many so many ways. Here it is. There's my name. I'm the math department chair, math instructor. I also teach physics and physical science. There's my email address, preferred method of contact, either by email or by Blackboard message. We'll talk about that later. Okay. If you want to set up a virtual appointment with me, for advising, that's where you go for that. Best hours to reach. Here's my office hours for the first mini term. This is only good for the first 8 weeks. Monday, Wednesday, 8 to 10 and 4 to 6. Once the second mini term starts, I may pick up a course Monday, Wednesday afternoon from 4:30 to 6:30. So these office hours may go away. They're putting it on the schedule for me, but only 5 students signed up for it for the first term. For the full term, they canceled it, and then they were going to put it in the mini term. They haven't done that yet, but they said they're going to. So the 8 to 10 is going to do all term. The 4 to 6 will be the first 8 weeks. It may do the whole term. It depends on if that other class makes. Now the Tuesday, Thursday, 8 to 8:30, that's it on Tuesday, Thursday, at least for the first mini term. After the first mini term, I get out of class, I believe, let's see, I have a 8:30 to 9:45, a 10 to 11:15, 11:30 to 12:45. So in the second mini term, from 1 o'clock until, well, let's see, I have to eat lunch somewhere in there. So 12:15 to 1:15 will be my lunch. So from 1:15 to 3:15, I'll have office hours then. But that's second mini term, not first mini term. First mini term, Tuesday, Thursday, all I've got is 8 to 8:30. Fridays, 8 to 12. Okay? I'll have office hours. Okay. And I didn't do a video. All right. Good for you. Okay. That was... Okay, weekly assignment and activities. Now this is what's going to change. See, now that time it was underlined. I click on it, nothing happened. So I come over here and I hit the down arrow, and this is where things are changing. I filled them out for this week, but it's all going to change. Okay, overview and to-do list. I'll show you what this looks like. And again, there's so much duplication here, it's ridiculous. Whoever came up with this was, okay. We will meet, and this is important, we'll meet 10 to 11:40. Make sure I don't lose all my time here. In a Zoom meeting, just like we're doing now, we'll go over the syllabus, blah, 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 blah. Now, it says we'll start in Chapter 7. Now that's Chapter 5. I'll have to go back and change this. I don't know if I'll get it. We'll try to get 5.1 done. If not started today, we'll get it done next time. Okay? Objectives, become familiar with this course syllabus, start determining your research paper topic. We're going to get to that in a minute, hopefully. And then forget this and that. That was stuff from Chapter 7. We'll go back and do that. Okay. That thing about the signed syllabus agreement, that's important, especially for the people not here. You have to do it. But then begin the process of your determining your research paper topic. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And then don't worry about this. This will all be changed for 5.1. Okay. I'm glad I spent all that. Spent all that time doing that. Okay. Let's go to, that was overview. Okay. Instructional materials. I think this is the part. That time when you click on the underline, it works. Here is the PowerPoint for 7.1. Forget that. I'll put the PowerPoint for 5.1. Okay. Here's the PowerPoint for 7.2. Forget that. I'll put the PowerPoint for 7.2. These are, as I told you, I record all of the lectures, all the classes. This was the one that had 7.1 in it. These three, this had the first part of 7.1, this had the middle part of 7.1, that had the, no, I'm sorry, there's only two here. First part of 7.1, the last part of 7.1. Okay, and the first part of 7.2. Don't sweat that now, that's going to change. I have to redo all this. Okay, I didn't put any instructional videos. I might put some out there later, but I didn't have time. The handouts, the research paper. Let's do this one. Now you see that doesn't come out underlined, so you come to the three dots here, click on that, and it says download. So that takes a while for it to load. There it is. Let's look at the research paper. Now Andy and Brandon, I know y'all are familiar with this. You got it memorized by heart. Jordan, this will be maybe new for you, so let me go over this as quickly as I can. You get to choose your topic, any topic you want to. I'm going to open the book to chapter 5. Okay, it came real open, chapter 5. Okay, now I'm just going to thumb through chapter 5. You don't have to do this, but I'm just giving you a suggestion here. Oh wait, you can. Oh, okay. Sorry. Thank you. When I went to this, the screen sharing stopped. So let me get it started again. Please do that, because I don't sometimes pay attention. I had to move that taskbar to the bottom, so I don't see it now. You can see the research paper now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I know you're glad you can, right? Okay. Y'all keep me straight. Okay. That's your job. You remember that? Okay. But I'm in the book. I'm just thumbing through the book here. Chapter 5, there's not a lot in 5.1 that I see. In 5.2, just shortly in the 5.2, there's a little blurb on Archimedes. Hey, guess what? You can't use a little blurb on Archimedes, but you can, because it's in the book, you can use Archimedes as a topic. You get to choose your topic. You don't have to choose something from the book. What I'm saying is the book can give you good ideas. The book is not a source for your paper, but it may be a source for ideas for the paper. And there's also another thing here, a little blurb on an article, proof without words, area of a disk is pi r squared. And they give you an actual paper you can go to. Russell J. Hindle in Mathematics Magazine. And you can go to matharticles.com. It tells you where you can go to see things like that. And that's on one page in your book, okay? You'll find lots of things like this scattered throughout the book, anything like that. If you have an interest, say you're going to get into statics and dynamics, that's really where you're interested in engineering is. You may want to do a paper on centroids, okay? Because we're not going to cover it in this class. That would be fine. Anything that has to do with the course. It can be a person like Archimedes. It could be a theory like L'Hopital's rule, okay? It could be L'Hopital. I mean, it could be him too, okay? A phenomenon or an application. I really like application problems, okay? Or papers, you know. If you're saying, now this doesn't apply to this course, but I had a trig student several years ago, probably a decade or more ago, who was actually a pre-forestry major from Jeff State, but he decided to take his math at Lawson. Well, we may have been Bessemer State Tech at the time, or we may have been Lawson, I don't remember. But anyway, he did his paper on use of trigonometry in forestry, which was a great thing because it was directly applicable to his major. He wasn't a great writer, but it was a good paper in that it was something that he had interest in. Okay? Or any other such topic about which you have an interest and you can relate it somehow to calculus. Now here's one other thing I put in the last few years. It can be an internet application or demonstration, as in a Khan Academy or a YouTube video or something like this that you have found useful. Like I talk about how to find the area of a plane region, and the book talks about it, and you can't figure out what we're talking about. But you find a internet application, a demonstration or something like that on YouTube that you say, oh, that's what it means. Okay? If you can want to write on that application, you can. Okay? So there's another possibility. Okay? Now what I'd like you to do, and you can do this on that same acknowledgement page that's not on the syllabus yet, but I'm going to put it there. What you can do is write on that page, or you can write it on a separate thing. Just send me an email, whatever, with your name and the topic you have selected. If you can get it to me this week, that would be fantastic. That would be part of, and for people who aren't here today, that could be your attendance for the week. Just indicating you've listened to this and you want to send me your paper topic. Now you'll need to find at least one, but two or more better, outside sources of the paper. It can be any book, journal, article, anything you can find in a library, virtual library, wherever. It can be any legitimate source you find on the internet. Unfortunately, the internet is probably more than half full with total garbage. So don't give me some garbage. Make sure it's a good, reputable site on the internet. The textbook is not an outside source. Great source for ideas, but not for your paper. Okay? Now, it's going to need to be at least one word processed page of text. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's just say that this was your paper, and you had decided to put some big old header up here. A lot of students do that because they learn that in English class or wherever or whatever. You skip a few lines and you come down here and you put your title, you triple space, and then you start typing right here. Okay? What is one page of text? Well, that means it will go, whoops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to click on it. That would go from here to the bottom of that page. Then on a second piece of paper, it would come from the top or wherever your margin is up here down to match at least this first line. That's a page of text. Okay? Not just one piece of paper. It's going to be at least two pieces of paper with part of it on the first sheet and part of it on the second sheet. Now, it can be longer than one page. That's the minimum. Now, I want you to double space. I've single spaced this. That's hard for me to read and hard to grade. So that makes it less writing for you. Double space it. But put it in 12 pitch or 12-point font, which is what I'm in here. Whatever font you use, up to you. Just make it readable. I don't read Old English. I don't read Cyrillic. I don't read all these fancy things. Don't put a lot of curly cues in it. Make it something easy to read. Okay? Try to keep the paper less than 2 pages if you can. Now, that's not a hard and fast requirement. I just don't want it to be a big, big project for you. I just want you to get out of the book, into your field, into an interest of yours, and write me a paper on it. Give me a good product. I don't need a long product. I just need a good product. Now, if you get so interested in your topic that you need to go more than 2 pages, by all means do it. I'll enjoy reading that. If you're that interested in the paper, I'll be that interested in reading it. However, you don't have to do that. Now, here's the one thing not to do. Don't try to substitute quantity for quality. I want quality. So if you're writing a really lousy paper and think, well, I'll just make it longer and impress them with it, it will not impress me. Okay? I want a good paper, and actually a short good paper is way better than a long sorry paper. So try to keep it less than 2 pages, but if you go over, there's no penalty. Okay? You choose your format. English classes teach MLA, Modern Language Association. So a lot of science organizations, maybe your fields of study, use APA or something like APA. That's American Psychological Association. They came up with a great format early on. Everybody else copied it. So whatever, you follow it. The important thing is be consistent, okay? If you start blocking paragraphs, continue to block paragraphs, okay? If you start making your references one way, make sure you make the references the same way throughout your paper. I've seen it happen just a couple of times. It's not a very common thing that someone will make a reference to a source up here, and then they'll have a similar source down here, and their reference is very, very different. I know pretty much what happened. They copied the way this source did their references and made their reference that way, but this source was using a different format, so they made their reference differently. Now, I know that papers are different from books, or different from journal articles, or different. I understand that, but when they're the same, make sure the citations are the same. Okay? That's what I'm saying there. Now, spelling, grammar, sentence structure, all those things that lost you points in English, they'll lose your points here too. But probably not as many. But by all means, use spell check, use grammar check, use good proofreading. I want you to give me good papers. Okay? Now, content also matters. Maybe it didn't matter as much in English as the little nitty-gritty stuff, but here it does matter. Be sure you proof it and that things are making sense. Okay? I've had people give me wrong dates of things happening. I know they're wrong because it was a 1492 rather than 1942. There's a big difference there. Just two numbers swapped, but that's a big difference. Okay. Now, when is the paper due? By the last day of class. That's not the last day of finals. No, the last day we meet as a class before the final exam week. That'll be the first week in December. Okay? Probably the Wednesday of that first week in December. That's the last day. Please do not wait till the last day of class to turn it in. Turn it in as soon as you can. You'll never have more time to work on your paper than you do right now. How many of you already have projects due? Probably very few, okay? But by the end of the term, I guarantee you're going to have term papers, you're going to have reports, you're going to have finals, you're going to have all sorts of things at the end of the term. Don't wait till then. Get started on it now, okay? If you turn it into me after that last day of class, I will accept it, but you'll be losing points. So get it to me before then. There's the stick. Here's the carrot. If you submit your paper this month, now we don't have much of this month left, but if you get it to me this month, you'll get 4 bonus points. Whatever your score is, I'll add 4 points to it. Okay? If you get it in the month of September, you get 3 bonus points. October, 2 bonus points. And in the month of November, 1 and only 1 bonus points. If you give it to me that first week in December, you just get your score. If you give it to me the second week in December, that's losing points, minus points. So please get it to me early rather than later. Take advantage of the carrots here. Okay, here's one thing I require that not many other instructors do. I want you to print me or send me a page, a single page from one of your sources. Maybe you had 3 sources. Pick a source, just one source, and then pick me 1 page from the source and send me that page. If you got something from the library, take it over to the copy machine. If the libraries are even open, I don't know if they are, print me that page and send it with your paper. If you have a source from the internet, say, just pull out a page from that source and attach it to your paper. 1 page from the source. A source, just 1 source. Any questions on the research paper? Okay. Start looking now. Start thinking now. Scan through the book. Go through your mind. Go through wherever your sources are. See if you can come up with an idea of anything that has to do with calculus, and give me a paper topic, preferably by the end of the week. If you need next week, that'll be fine too. Okay? But if I can get you that last page of the research of the syllabus, that's due this week. So please get me that this week, if I can remember to get it out there. All right, so that is, yeah, question. Now, what do you mean? This instructions right here? Yeah, I got them right off of Blackboard. Here, I'll back off and show you where they are. I'll cancel that. Oops, you lost it, right? Okay, let me get it back. This is one thing that's pretty awkward about Zoom. Okay. All right, can you see this again? Okay, this is under instructional materials. Okay, it says PowerPoints, video, blah, blah, blah. It's right down here, handouts. Research paper, general instructions, dot, dot. You see it? Do you see my cursor? Okay, there's where you find it. You come over to these three dots and click on that, and it'll say download original file. Okay? All right. There are no labs for this course, and this thing is in the way again, so let me move it every time I change share screen. Okay, one other thing here is my locator card. I've talked about it. You see it doesn't underline here, so you come to the three dots, click on the three dots, it says download. This is what I've been telling you about. This is my, it'll come up one of these days. I'll probably have to, okay, you can't see it, right? So let me get a new share here. There we go. Can you see my locator card? Okay. My name's Charles Fowler, Math Department. This is fall, first mini term 2020. I have office advising hours from 8 to 10, as I told you in my office hours. We have Math 126 from 10 to 11:40. Then I start my lunch at 11:45. I have about half hour to eat part of my lunch then. Then I have Cal 3 from 12:15 to 1:55. So I try to run down and eat the rest of my lunch from 2 to 2:30. And then I have differential equations in the afternoon from 2:30 until 3:45. And then I'm back in the office. I'm always in the office, but back for advising until 6 o'clock. So from 4 to 6. Now, second mini term, I may pick up a physics class from 4:30 to 6:30 Monday and Wednesday. So these office hours will probably go away. All right. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I don't have time to breathe. Okay. I have office advising from 8 to 8:30, and that's it. Because I have pre-calculus algebra from 8:30 to 9:45, and then I go into pre-calculus trig from 10 to 11:15. And then linear algebra from 11:30 until 12:45. At 12:45, I have a half hour to eat lunch, and that's the only half hour I have for lunch on Tuesday and Thursday. First mini term anyway. At 1:15, I start my physical science class. It's a mini term class, so it goes for 3.5 hours. That's from 1:15 to 3:45. At 3:45, we start the lab. Most days, not every day, and the lab will go from 3:45 until 5:45, and then technically I have another 15 minutes of office hours at the end here, but there wasn't even a place to put it. So I'm through availability wise then. Let me also tell you this. They have us sign up for virtual advising 5 hours a week. I have 1 hour from 5 to 6 on Monday afternoon. Now, not always do students sign up then, but this is when I do. So if you try to get me in this time frame and you can't, it may mean that I'm advising a student. Tuesday, Thursday, I have 0 time to do it. On Wednesday, I have from 8 to 10 in the morning. Remember, that was office advising. Well, we haven't gotten there yet. Office advising there too. So from 8 to 9, I have office advising. So from 9, I'm on the virtual advising thing from 8 to 9. I won't always have a student, but if I do, that may make me unavailable. From 9 to 10, I will be free. And then Wednesdays are just like Mondays were, and they will be second mini-term too. Thursdays are just like Tuesdays were, and they will be. Now, second mini-term, here's the difference. The Physical Science 112 won't start until 3:15. So that means my lunch will be 12:45 till 1:45, and then from 2 o'clock or 1:45 until till 3:15, I will have office hours. I don't have them first mini-term, but I will second mini-term. And then I'll have the lab from 3:45 from 5:45 till 7:45, and I'll be off at 8 o'clock. Okay, so don't bother me then. Okay, so I will pick up some more office hours on second mini-term. I may lose some on Monday, Wednesday, but I'll pick up some on Tuesday, Thursday. But I'll try to let you know at mini-term. If I forget to do so, there. So that's where this is. Okay, any questions on where I am? If we were on campus, this would be posted on my door, and I'd have room numbers here for all the classes and stuff. We're not in the campus, so I don't have that. Okay, any questions on my locator card? All right. Okay, let's go back to screen share and go back to Blackboard and get this thing. You can't see it, but this taskbar always pops up right in the way. Okay, so that's the end of this. Instructional materials. Okay, your PowerPoints will be there. I'm going to have to change those, and your recorded lectures, I'll have to change those. The research paper and the locator card will be there. At least locator card may change it midterm. Okay, so that's instructional materials. Let's see if I can get out of that. Okay. I think we already did the, this textbook link here is not the same as what your textbook is. This takes you to the bookstore website. So I won't do that. You can click on that if you want. You see the link here, that's a link. It takes you to the Lawson State website, the bookstore. Okay. Now, I'm not planning to have discussion boards. If I have to, I will, but the deal is we'll have our discussions in class. This was something mostly for online classes. They won't say that, but they is. The assignments, let's see if I put that here. I think I did. The underline is here. Yeah, please sign and submit the syllabus agreement form here. Submit your research paper topic. Those are the assignments for this week. Okay? And if you don't do that, if you don't get some sort of attendance, either in class or one of those things turned into me, some sort of communication with me, and don't make it a voicemail on my telephone. Don't make it something on email or something on Blackboard message where you would normally send this. Try to get it to me this week. If you don't, this is for people who are not here. You'll be removed from the class as a no-show. And I don't do that. The system does it. Okay, so that's the week 1 assignment. I will update that as we come. Okay, and I think that's pretty much it. There's some instruction here. Y'all don't have to see. You won't see it. The assessment, basically get me your research paper. There's nothing there. How to submit an assignment on Blackboard. If that's helpful to me, there it is. To you. Okay, I'm not going to go over that. And then we'll get into week 2 and on. All right, any question on, I call this syllabus, but really this was an introduction to Blackboard. Let's do a few other things with Blackboard. Let me move Andy out of the way here. Scoot you on down here some too. Okay, so I'm going back out of this. This is all under content. When we go back to the basic page here for content, I'm going to scroll up here. Jordan, you're still in the way. You know that? Okay. Nope. Oh no, this is the course page. Well, I got too far out, didn't I? Shucks, no wonder I can't find anything. Get back into, there we go, Cal 2. I'm running out of time here. Okay, here we go. This is what I was looking for. What we are on the content page right here. Okay, course content. This is your calendar. I don't do anything on that. This is your discussion board. So far, I'm not doing anything on that. Here is your grade book. Hopefully, y'all are familiar with that. Nothing's there yet. Don't sweat it. This is where we do the messages. I don't have anything out here yet, but if I do, when I put a message out here, then usually it's going to be something like something came from the dean's office or blah, blah, blah. Oh, and I forgot to say anything about testing. It was on there and I forgot to. Since we don't have in-class tests, what do y'all think about take-home test? Y'all in favor or not? All right. Okay. I heard a vote for take-home. He's the only one that spoke, so we aren't even going to ask for nays on that. Okay. So I will be posting here under messages your tests. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, however many they are. Okay. Now, this is also where you can send me messages. Okay. But you don't have to. Okay. If you want to send me a message through email, perfectly fine. So if you want to turn in a test, turn in your research paper, give me your paper topic, whatever you're doing, that last page on the syllabus, it's not there yet, that's going to be there. You can either send it to me through a message or you can send it to me through an email. Frankly, I like emails a little bit better because they don't disappear when I subtract it. But when I take your message off of here and then delete it, I never see it again. And that's why I don't like the messages quite as much as I do the other. I can always go back and search for, an email. I can't go back and search for a message. But you can do it either way, whatever you're more familiar with. Okay. Any questions on Blackboard, your syllabus, your research topic, how we're going to run the course? Any questions at all? Okay. If not, then I think I'll get out of the messages here, and I'm going to leave this up for my next class. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is go to my computer. Y'all won't see this right now. I'm going to my flash drive. I'm going to Larson Calculus PowerPoints. And we're going to start in chapter 5. Okay? That's where you see it said y'all left off, right? Okay. So 5.1 is where we'll be beginning. Now we're not going to get... Okay. All right. Very good question. I'm glad you asked it. If you noticed out there, when I had chapter 7 out there, I listed the problems. Okay? Now, those are they're not necessary for you to turn in. Okay? I want you to turn them in if you're having difficulty with them. If you are working on a problem, and let's talk about that for just a moment here. And I'm going to do it in a couple of ways here. Okay. Now, in 5.1, I don't know if you can see this. Does that box block this, or can you see what I'm holding up here? It says example 3. Can you read that? Okay. I'm holding it in front of the camera. Notice under there it says see Larson Calculus .com for an interactive version of this type of an example. Periodically here in the text, this author does the very best job of providing fantastic support for students. Okay, here is the back of the book. Okay, On the very back of the book it says internet resources for at larsoncalculus.com, and that's what I was just referring to. Here he has all that information. Okay, now, so you'll see that, and I'll try to mention it every time we do an example with that. Let's go to the first set of homework exercises. Okay, notice at the very top here it says 5.1 exercises. See calcchat.com for, I can't read it, it's backwards to me. What does that say? For tutorial help and worked out solutions for odd number exercises. And if you'll notice on that chapter 7 that we're not doing yet, all I assign are odd number exercises. 2 reasons. Number 1, the answers are in the back of the book. So when you're doing the homework and you get the answer, move on to the next one. Or you don't get that answer, but you look at the answer, well, how did they get it? And you can figure out how you got it, fan, go to the next one. Okay? Or if you can't figure out how they got the answer, go to calcchat.com. And this is also mentioned on the back of the book, calcchat.com. And that's for odd number exercises in the text. And they will have tutorial help and worked out solutions for the odd number exercises. Okay? Now, let's also look on that first set of exercises. Do you see that QR code there? Okay? And you see under that, you see question exercise 7, 8, 9, and 10. I don't know if you can tell it, but 7 is in red. You see number 7 in red there? Okay? That means that's, you could, if you have your phone and do the QR code on the, you can read that from your phone. You will see, you will go to the third source they have here, calcview.com. And those selected exercises, not one of every group, but in several of the groups, the ones that have the little red numbers by them, you'll see not just worked out exercises, tutorial help, you'll see a full-blown interactive version of that problem. Okay? So this author has the very best electronic support of any author I've ever used. He has larsoncalculus.com, he has calcchat.com, and he has calcview.com. All of those are absolutely free. You don't need any code or anything else. Now, I'm also going to put out there for you your, like I said before, the class key for the WebAssign. Okay? That enables you to access your ebooks. Okay? But also, the guy who did it for me at Cengage, he put out a selected group of problems from every section that will become. Now, he may not have done chapter 5 because I didn't know we'd be doing chapter 5. I just had him do 7, 8, 9, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you may not find chapter 5 out there, but you'll find the others out there. If you want to do any of those, WebAssign has good tutorial help. It has good help, and you can do that. You have unlimited. You don't have to turn those in. I'm not going to grade those, anything else. But if you're having trouble with either something on WebAssign or something from your book, and these resources don't give you the help you need, then I want to see those problems. I want to, and then we'll work them out either by phone, we'll work them out through a YouTube chat, we'll work them out in class, we'll work them out through email. Any way that you want to do that, we'll try to do. So now, let's go back to, I think, your original question. Okay? If you turn in at least one problem every week. Now, if you don't have any problem with any of the homework exercises, and you still want to turn in a problem a week out of anything that's been assigned that week, then I will, in your grade book, I don't have my grade book handy here. I don't know where it is, in fact, that's scary. But I'll put a little plus by your name for that week, okay? And when at the end of the term, if you have more pluses than blanks, then if you happen to come up with an 89.3 that would be an 89, I will go on and make it a 90, okay? So that's what homework does for you. If you turn out being borderline between a B or a C, or between an A or a B, and you have turned in homework most of your weeks, and it's only one problem a week, you know, if you have done that at least one a week, and again, it can be through YouTube video, it can be through Blackboard message, or it can be through a email. Either one, get it to me. Now, when I receive it, I'll respond to it. I'll say, I've received this, printed it. I'll note that in your thing. If you don't receive a reply from me, ask me the next day in class. Did you get my homework? Did you get my test? Did you get my research paper? Maybe I'm running late. That happens, okay? But we will. I'll try to get that to you. Okay. Did that answer your question by any means?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So you don't have to turn in homework, but if you do at least one problem a week that shows me that you have done it, you understand what's going on, then I'll put a plus in the grade book, and that could bounce you up if you're borderline. Okay? Make sense? That wasn't in the syllabus, but that's just something I do freebie. All right. We don't have but 2 minutes left. Let's get the PowerPoint up here. And let's see if I can get the screen sharing for the PowerPoint. There it is. We'll at least get started talking a little bit about calculus, not all this blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. Do y'all see Chapter 5, integration? Yay or nay? Okay, good deal. All right. We'll be beginning basically next time on 5.1, which is antiderivatives and indefinite integration. Now, you started doing antiderivatives in the end of Chapter 4, didn't you? Yeah. At the end of 4 did... No, I'm sorry. 4 was only through differentiation. So Chapter 5 is starting with antiderivatives. So we haven't done any. Okay, sorry about that. All right. Now, let's go to the first slide. Here are our objectives for 5.1. We'll write the general solution of a differential equation and use indefinite integration notation for antiderivatives. Blah, 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 right? Use basic integration rules, important stuff there, to find antiderivatives and find a particular solution for a differential equation. Okay? All right, antiderivatives. First subtopic here. Here's what we're dealing with. Let's imagine we have a function, little f of x, this one right here, equal to 3x squared. Okay? If I said this is actually the derivative of some other function, capital F, not little f, but capital F. In other words, capital F is some unknown function, and we know its derivative is this little f, 3x squared. Okay? Well, I know y'all got your derivatives down pat, right? Well, you know that if your capital F was 3x squared, x cubed, the derivative of that would be exponent times coefficient, right? And then reduce the exponent by 1, 3x squared. Remember that from taking derivatives? Yay or nay? All right, good deal. Yay! All right. Now, what we say then, that capital F is the antiderivative of little f. Okay? And that's the definition. A function capital F is an antiderivative of little f on some interval I when the derivative of capital F is your little f. If the derivative of capital F is little f, then the antiderivative of little f is capital F. Okay? Yin and yang. You've been doing this from your very beginning in math. You added, then you subtracted, it undid addition. You multiplied, then you divided, it undid multiplication. You took powers, and then you took radicals that undid the powers, right? Always undoing something. So what we're doing now, an antiderivative undoes a derivative. Does that make sense? Oh, you did? Okay. Well, did you get very far in this? Should we? Did you start in chapter 5.1 or did you go? Oh, you're still in chapter 4. Okay. I thought it was covered in chapter 4, but in the book it just says it goes through differentials. Okay. All right. So we need to start right here where we are. Do we need to go a little bit further on? The next one after this is finding area using integration. Okay. Okay. I need to know where y'all need to start. And all three of you. Okay. 5.1, 5.2 is area. 5.3 is Riemann sums, definite integrals. Does all that ring a bell? Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. So where do you want to start? 5.1, 5.2, 5.3. You name it and claim it. I'll be glad to do it. Rather than flipping pages, let me just look in the thing. 5.1, antiderivatives and indefinite integration. 5.2, area. 5.3, Riemann sums and definite integrals. 5.4, fundamental theorem of calculus. 5.5, integration by substitution. 5.6, indeterminate forms of L'Hopital's rule. I know we're supposed to be there. Did any of the other stuff did y'all do? Okay, so we're going to start in 5.6. Is everybody okay with that? Okay, 5.2. Is that where you want to start? All right, okay. That saves us a little time there. We'll start in 5.2. 5.2 to 5.7. Okay? And that's what we'll do in chapter 5. So next time we will begin in 5.2, not where we left off here. Okay. Everybody okay with that? Okay. And if it's review for some of you, fine. You get bonus, okay? But we'll go from there. All right. Well, then if that's the case, I think we are out of time. It is 11:44, so guess what? There's no extra charge for those extra 4 minutes. So what we'll do here, I'm going to end the recording.